Hey, this is Matt. Once again, welcome back to another video, and this is a paid request for Ryan. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, random thoughts, streams, commentaries, video game playthrough for an hour or full playthrough, randomness, movie review, re-review, whatever the case may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal. Do have a CashApp as well. Links are down below in the info box, and I will get to it as soon as I possibly can. And this is for the Muppets at Walt Disney World, which when I got the request, for a split second I'm thinking, is this a movie? But no, it's a TV special, which I never got to see because it was on NBC, and I didn't grow with NBC where I lived. We only had ABC, CBS, PBS, and another form of CBS, but we never had NBC. So in 1990, this NBC special happened, and it's ironic how it's the Muppets with Disney at the end, literally Kermit's with Mickey Mouse. I see irony because many years later, Disney eventually would buy the Muppets, and now Disney owns it. But this is before that. In fact, I believe this is the last thing Jim Henson did, because he died around this time, I think, when the special aired. So this was the last thing Jim Henson did that involved the Muppets. Which is a shame. But, what can you do? Now, the special is like 40-some minutes long. It is on YouTube for those who want to watch it. And pretty much it's Michael Eisner, who's the head honcho at Disney. There's a bit with him and Fozzie Bear and Fozzie's mom, where they're just kind of talking and introducing the special. And then Fozzie has to get some food on Eisner's shirt, and some other Muppets come in and screw up his clothes. And then we get into the story, which the story is Kermit wants to bring the Muppets to his family reunion and play their games in the swamp, Paradise Swamp. Eventually they get there and they're not really happy about it. But once they hear that right across the way is Walt Disney World, they're excited and they go towards that. And Kermit's a bit disappointed because, oh, well, come see my family, my aunts, my uncles, we're going to play all these games. But the others don't want to do that. To be honest, I can't blame them. Because if it's to go the shit these frauds are doing, or to ride on an Indiana Jones ride, or in this case it was a stunt show, I'm going to go to Indiana Jones stunt show, which to me that was the best part of this, was to see that. Now the Muppets do have their sense of humor, like when they're going through the swamp. Miss Piggy's like, you think we'll see alligators? And there's an alligator puppet going, well, if you're really, really lucky. Charles Grodin, he plays the security guard. Of course, he was in one of the Muppets movies. I want to say it was the Muppets Taste Manhattan, I believe. But he was in that, and Charles Grodin, it's always great to see him in this. I mean, he doesn't have a whole lot to do. He plays a security guard that's in a bit of trouble because he lost a bunch of tickets. And then throughout the special, he's trying to gather up these Muppets. Rizzo the Rat puppet is trying to help him. So Charles Grodin doesn't have a whole lot to do to really showcase his sense of style of humor. But again, I like Charles Grodin, whether it be in Beethoven, whether it be in Midnight Run, wherever the film may be. I don't like the film Clifford, but Charles Grodin does what he can with that. It's always nice to see Charles. Even the bit role he had in So I Married an Axe Murderer. It's just always great to see Charles Grodin. And I'm trying to think. Try to think of other films he was in later on. I'd have to look it up, but again, always great to see him. Pretty much it's the Muppets split up and they do different things. So it's either Rolf the dog, didn't captured as a and then put with dogs. Was this it? There was another film he was in I reviewed where like the same thing happened. They got caught and put into kind of the kennel and had to deal with the other animals. I forget what movie that was. Wasn't Follow That Bird, was it? No, that was Sesame Street. So that was Sesame Street. What was the fucking... I swear there's another Muppet film that did that. I can't remember. But there at least two where he's playing the piano and the other dogs are singing with him. There's the band with Animal in them. There's a bit where they sing a song, walking all around the world. Miss Piggy wants to find the Chinese theater and meet the stars and the handprints of the stars. But this guy keeps bringing her to all these rides. There are shortcuts. So you see Miss Piggy on the Thunder Mountain roller coaster and the Star Tours ride. That was actually the most fun I had, was seeing these old rides from 1990 at Disney World. Because I'm a sucker for seeing that, because I think I was at Disney World around this time period. I can't remember what year. It might have been 92. It might have been 93. Because I think went to Universal Studios and Back to the Future ride was there. Because I did think it was like 1991, but Back to the Future ride wasn't there till like 92, 93, so it had to have been around that time. Anyway, it's around that time that I went there as a kid. Sadly, I only have vague memories, but I do remember riding the Star Tours ride and the other stuff. So, to me, I would have been fine with seeing more of that. And it was funny to see Miss Piggy with the wide eyes. They put the wide eyes on the puppet and her being steered by the rides. Those bits were kind of funny. The other stuff, Fozzie's with his mom, and they pretty much they don't have any money for food, so the mom tries to get her son to do stand-up, and he can't because he doesn't have any material, and he's kind of fumbling about. Felt bad for Fozzie. That was kind of meh. Gonzo, which I always thought was weird, he was in love with a chicken. You chicken fucker! Gonzo is a chicken fucker. Sound like a Rob Zombie movie. Was it Devil's Rejects? That Sid Haig called someone a chicken fucker? Or someone like, I swear it was the Devil's Rejects, so there you go. You're the Gonzo. You're a chicken fucker. But I always thought that was weird, but pretty much they get lost, and they think that the sewers and the other stuff are the big parts of Disney World, so they're just completely oblivious. That's the running gag for Gonzo and the chicken. Kermit's just sad with his little fraud nephew, that he's sad that no one wants to go to his family reunion. Until eventually, Raven Simone, yes, Raven Simone is in this. Very, very tiny child. And she sings to him the Rainbow Connection that was in the original Muppets movie. And I like Kermit's reaction. Do you believe this? Can't believe she's singing this song to me. So I thought that was kind of funny. And then he starts singing along with her. And I thought, Raven Simone, I don't know how old she was. She looked like she was like 7 or 8 years old. A cute scene. Didn't mind that. Kind of funny seeing Animal chase Snow White. If it was Rachel Zegler, he'd be going the other direction and running away. But in this case, he's chasing Snow White. So, kind of weird. Like stalker. You're chasing a woman and she don't like it. Kind of, stalker behavior, but it's Animal. He's a real animal in the sack, I guess. I don't know. it was kind of funny. Charles Grodin talking to these people in the Seven Dwarfs costumes as if they're going to be his men. I kind of wish they could have played that up even more. That they really were listening to Charles Grodin. Did you maybe get like some more comedy out of that? I actually thought that since we're in Disney World, maybe you'd have the Muppets interact with other, more Disney characters. Whether it be people in costumes or the like. Sadly, that was not the case. So maybe like they go across someone who's in a bit Donald Duck or Goofy, like if Fozzie Bear meets Goofy or Gonzo meets Donald Duck or whatever the case. But you know, it is what it is. My favorite part is eventually Miss Piggy and Kermit accidentally get put into the Indiana Jones stunt show, which I forgot about the Indiana Jones stunt show. And I might have seen this back in the day. But 1992. So yeah, there's me. I'm sure nowadays I'd be looking over this way, but you know, I'm a kid back then, so there you go. And I don't even know if I can kind of pictures. More at the Disney, the Dumbo ride. Yep, that is Donald Duck. I guess it's kind of ironic because you look at me here, I'm like looking at Mickey Mouse as if, dude, I know what Disney's going to be like in the future. I'm not going to approve. But I was talking about the Indiana Jones stunt show, and lo and behold, I was there for this stunt show because there's that. Girl inside plane stunt. See if there's that and that. So yeah. That was part of the Indiana Jones stunt show, so just I'm like, I know this seems familiar, and yep, as I'm doing the review, I'm like, I swear I fucking just like, yeah, I remember this ride too, the Great Movie Ride, because there's a bit where you see Alan Ripley like animatronic, and then on this side you see a xenomorph. Apparently, it was one of my favorites because I did it twice, May 30th, 1992. Shout out to my Aunt Jane, because she was a big part of that. As well as my sister Rachel. So, it's weird, I haven't looked at these pictures in decades, it's crazy. But yeah. It is what it is. So, there's me. 1992 was the year. I don't even know what fucking shirt that is. Air Raids? I don't know what the fuck that shirt was that I was wearing. The fuck is Air Raids? I don't even know. And I wore the shirt. Same with I was there with Back to the Future, because I have right here. Back to the Future. So this must have been like right when they opened, because I believe 1992, and I know this was like my favorite ride at Universal. I know sadly some of the stuff was not working. I don't think the Jaws ride was working. But there was the Beetlejuice Universal Graveyard show, which you had that. And other pictures. So yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's been a while since I looked at those pictures, so sorry. I mean, back to what I was talking about. They do the stunt show. You have Miss Piggy with a Gatling gun shooting the shit out of. And then Kermit's like, I don't like violence. Each time he shoots someone, he's like, are you okay? And then they get back saying, yeah, we're okay. So I thought that was kind of funny because Kermit, that made sense with Kermit's character, what kind of character Kermit is. And then Miss Piggy just. I thought that was my favorite part of the special. That was fun to see. And like Kermit's trying to fight the big guy. He can't do anything, but then Miss Piggy beats him up. And eventually, Charles Grodin gets them all. He gets a phone call, and they all go see Mickey. And it's interesting, they actually animate Mickey. So there's the puppet Kermit and the animated Mickey Mouse. And like Mickey's trying to put his arm over Kermit's shoulder. Try to do like a little bit of Roger Rabbit. At least as much as they could in, 1990 TV special. But to be honest, when I said I expected, when I see the characters, I figured it'd be them in, like I show pictures of Mickey Mouse, Donald, like, again, costumes with like a mascot for a football game. The fact that they actually went and animated Mickey Mouse, I thought kind of was a cool touch. So there you go, you get to see Mickey Mouse and Kermit the Frog in the same frame. And I saw Miss Piggy try to hit on Mickey Mouse. Because Mickey's like, where's Miss Piggy? And she comes in like speaking French, and Mickey Mouse like, huh? He's like, sorry lady, I'm taken. That would have been funny if Minnie Mouse was there and shot daggers, glared at Miss Piggy. But anyway. That's why I kind of wish we could have seen an animated Goofy and Donald Duck in retrospect. But I mean, it's a TV special. They're only going to do as much as they can and spend as much money as they can because it is just a special. I don't know what it was signifying, if it was just a way to promote Disney World and their rides, or if there's something else that they were promoting at this time. I don't know. I mean, they show some of the rides, but I figured if it was just promoting Disney World, they would show a lot more. Also, they made it seem as if all three parts were at the same spot. Epcot Center, the Kingdom, Magic Kingdom, the MGM, but they're not. Like, they're in very separate places. You gotta take, like, monorail and stuff to get to some of them, so. But they may seem as if they were in the same place, so. They definitely will, too. But yeah, it was fun to watch for what it is. It was fun to watch. Like I said, it was fun to see Mickey Mouse and Kermit in the same frame. One animated, one puppet. That was interesting. It was cool to see the Indiana Jones stunt show. Brought back memories. 1992. How time flies. Sorry, just overthinking things. If one day, just for one day, they go back, that'd be nice. Just relive that one day. One more day, you know. That'd be nice. I mean, somehow they make some invention where you go back and just relive a day. What was it like in the day of being in that time? But you could do whatever and it wouldn't affect the future. C'est la vie. Just one of those, like, somehow if that memory was brought to the forefront and you relive it like a movie, like a VR experience. Or be like that movie Strange Days, something like that. Anyway, just pontificating. But with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. This was a fun special for what it was. And it's hard to get back. It's a special. I mean, NBC, 40-some minutes long. It's not something I would watch over and over again, but I mean, there's some fun to be had if you like the Muppets. If you want to see how Disney World looked like back in 1990, you want to see a little bit of Charles Grodin. You want to see Mickey and Kermit in the same frame together. You want to take a peek at the Indiana Jones stunt show. There's some fun to be had. You know, did I care about Fozzie's mom? No. Or Gonzo and the chicken going through the sewers and stuff? No. Did the new songs really pique my interest? No. But it is what it is, and I had fun watching it, so there you go. Thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye for now.